Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, all subscribers, viewers, and supporters of this channel. How is diesel that we use in our factory be an effect, be an impact to client? How does it work? All right, this is ISO 14001 version 2015. Okay, before we go on, let me implore to all my Muslim brothers and sisters all over the world, please do not watch this video if you are already in the mosque for the Friday prayers, khutbah, or attending any religious lessons by any scholars reading books. Thank you very much. I love you for that. I wish us all Jannah tonight. Okay, back to ISO 14001. In this video, we are looking at another evaluation criteria that we use in order to evaluate the significance of our environmental aspects by virtue of evaluating its environmental impact. Okay, and impact. One of the impact criteria is that of our client, but in this case, we are using diesel. How is diesel be causing us to have an impact upon the client? We don't sell diesel to our client, do we? In this case, diesel is being used in our factory to produce work. How? Machines probably using diesel, like your genset, or perhaps some machines that is run or powered by diesel fuel to produce certain desired products specified by the client. So diesel do have not a direct link to the client, but it is a source of energy to do work, to produce desired products that we are giving to our clients in terms of product as per se, product or services. Okay, let us take a look. I hope that is adequate for this introduction. Now, please remember, again and again, let me remind ourselves that ISO 14001 is an environmental management system that manages environmental aspects. There you are. This is what it manages, okay? Environmental aspects. How? By fulfilling compliance obligation and by addressing risk and opportunity. That is how it works. That is environmental management system. Okay, we have done identification of environmental aspect, but what is environmental aspect? In case you are new to this channel, environmental aspects as per ISO 14001 definition is an element of an organization's activity, products, and services that interacts or can interact with the environment. Okay, for me, anything is a substance matter. It's not process name. Process name is an activity. An activity is not an environmental aspect. An activity is where all the environmental aspects are involved or generated or being used. Got it? Now, in this video, we are doing this impact evaluation. We are doing an impact evaluation and we have got to use several criteria as you might have seen in our previous video. And in this video, one of the criteria is that of client. How does this aspect causes us to have an impact to the client or causes an impact to the client? We'll take a look about that. Okay, now, before we go on, please remember we have, upon evaluation is completed, a list of significant environmental aspects, then only we develop our environmental policy. Got it? And from there, we refer back to the aspect impact register over here, and we start to develop our environmental objectives. Okay? From there, we develop what we want to achieve. In other words, planning, action to achieve. What do we want? Our intended outcome. So objectives plus targets plus environmental management program, or in short, EMP, they are cumulatively intended outcome. And the intended outcome here must include environmental performance and compliance. Okay, these are a few things that has been stipulated under the intended outcome. Must include enhancements of our environmental performance. This is version 2015 ISO 14001. Okay, we have in a previous video, as far as diesel is concerned, this is where it comes from. This is where we identified it from an activity called diesel transfer. And we have done the previous video input-output analysis as a method to identify environmental aspects, and it has been explained adequately. So please do not hesitate to browse through this channel and look for those earlier videos where you can find this particular video. The diesel transfer input-output analysis, we explain life cycle perspective. And if you want to have a more what you call in-depth of the life cycle perspective of diesel, you have already a video within your fingertips. Life cycle perspective, ISO 14001 decoded. There you are. You're welcome. Take a look at all this. So we chose diesel as one of the environmental aspects for this discussion. There are many other environmental aspects. We might be doing the others, okay? So how's the evaluation is? Let's take a look at the dashboard first. This is how we would table out, we would display before us what is called aspect impact register. I call it dashboard. And today we are doing this. We have done in previous videos, kindly look at them. Magnitude as a criteria, severity as an evaluation criteria, legal as evaluation criteria, business as evaluation criteria. So far, these are the scores for those criteria as far as diesel, which is an input environmental aspect to this particular activity, which is diesel transfer. And it can cause, from its life cycle perspective, upstream, if you can remember, causing resource depletion. So do we need to manage it? Yes. But right now, we want to look how significant is the impact of diesel by evaluating another criteria in this video, which is client. So let's take a look at the definition for our evaluation criteria client. So this is it. Remember, environmental aspect, diesel is an input aspect. Now, as I said earlier, we do not produce diesel and sell them to our clients, but diesel is a must for some of our companies. In this case, it's a must for this particular company. It is being used to generate power which is being used to generate machine. They need to have adequate power, they need to have adequate diesel. So diesel comes into this particular factory to be used as fuel to run the machines, to run the genset, to run and power other equipment and perhaps facilities, including in the industrial effluent treatment plants, including those blowers for the scrubber, for the aeration tank, etc. Remember, our company is a business entity. We don't sell IETS to them. We also don't sell treated effluent to them, but those are other environmental management and environmental technicalities that we got to manage. But in this case, diesel is being used in our production, whether to power those environmental pollution control equipment or mainly to power all these equipments and machineries. We use diesel, end of the day, we produce products that we got to sell to our client for a margin. And for that margin is this company business sustainability. Okay, so diesel will come in as inputs, intake and use. Emissions, discharge, spills, release, and disposal are all about output. We are dealing with input aspect diesel. So is diesel being set by the client? No, diesel is not being set by the client. The client never issue any work instruction sheet for this particular factory that they have got to use a certain specific type of diesel containing certain amount of sulfur, or perhaps diesel only coming from Malaysia. No, it's not set by the client. Or there is any moderate specification set by the client? No. So diesel is being used. I cannot rate zero. Diesel is being used and it comes in as input. It is an environmental aspect, so it is used to produce products for the client. It is related to the client, but in a very well staggered long way. Okay, it's not direct. So well, we can say a common specification set by client. Maybe the client don't set anything. Actually, this company can even use solar, but nonetheless, for the indication that diesel do exist over here, we take the lowest rating, which is 1 for diesel, as far as its rating is concerned for client. So there you are. We've got 1 over there, and we have done client. So we have done those. So we have got 3 more to go, which is frequency, duration, and to identify whether these environmental aspects are occurring in normal, abnormal, or emergency. So during our rating, if some of you might be curious, we are doing this evaluation based on normal operation. Usually normal operation depending on the environmental aspect. If the environmental aspect that we discuss is in normal operation, we do consider whether it does exist in what? Emergency situation, abnormal situation, that will be addressed over here. Okay? And also we identify whether it exists in all 3 situations, just in case you are curious to know. Okay, so in the next slide, we'll talk about frequency as one of the environmental aspect impact evaluation criteria for diesel, which is an environmental aspect input. Okay, that's about it for this video. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, subscribers, viewers, and supporters of this channel. And as a Malay, I wish everybody semoga dikurniakan kesenangan, keselamatan, kesejahteraan, kebahagiaan, dan kejayaan kehidupan di dunia dan di akhirat. And until we meet in the next video, to all of you out there, everybody, regardless of wherever you are in the world, who you are, and whatever faith have you, I wish everybody Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.